All right, Miles, let's talk about the Colorado Buffs yet again. Now that National Signing Day Part 2, the Spring National Signing Day is over. We can take a look back at what Colorado has done in signing day. They made a lot of big moves, and they made an absolutely quietly massive, I say quietly massive, it's hard to say that, but that's the way it is with Deion Sanders sometimes, addition in the transfer portal that I think could be one of their biggest moves this offseason, Miles. Huge news out of Colorado.
Yeah, Nick. So Colorado has been making huge moves through transfer portal, through recruitment. Obviously, signing day passed. They had a lot of big time guys through there as well. But, all of these big name guys have been there. Their names are out there. Everyone knows them. And I want the Colorado fans in the comments below to let us know who's a guy that everybody should be talking about but isn't. Who's a signing that kind of flew under the radar that nobody is expecting? Let us know in the comments below. But, Nick, who is the next big time transfer that Colorado has gotten?
Yeah, so Bruce Feldman, a reporter over at The Athletic, he follows college football, is a really good reporter. I recommend him. Tweeted out this. He said, Colorado gets a commitment from Alabama. Alabama, now this is a Nick Saban guy. Alabama transfer linebacker Demoy Kennedy. He will definitely upgrade their athleticism on defense. Coming out of high school, this is Feldman saying this, some SEC coaches thought he was as gifted as any linebacker in the 2020 recruiting class. All right, Mike, so obviously Kennedy at Alabama being a linebacker, and Feldman mentioned it there. He's an elite level athlete. He didn't quite live up to it at times at Alabama, but if there's any guy in the world, any coach in the world that can get the most out of an athletic freak, because he was an athletic freak himself, it has to be Deion Sanders, right? And this is just another example of just a high-level athlete coming to Colorado to play for Sanders. I think this is just one of those moves that when you look back in a year or two, I think he actually is a senior. I think he only has one more year of eligibility. But when you look after the 2023 season, I think this is quietly going to be one of the bigger moves they made in the transfer portal throughout this entire run here with Sanders. Give me your thoughts on this move by them getting Kennedy and just everything going on in Colorado right now, Mize.
Yeah, Nick, I think this is a really big time move. And over on Buffalo Wire, a Colorado USA Today affiliate site, there's some really interesting points about this signing, and I love these, 3 things you need to know about the player. I think these are always very interesting to read, and I'm going to go through some of these points with you here, Nick, because I think they're very, very good points. One, Kennedy was a former 4-star recruit coming out of high school. He was a very top tier prospect, and as you said, athletic freak, a guy who can play all the positions. He played linebacker at Alabama. He played special teams at Alabama. But he also got snaps at running back at Alabama. So that's a very interesting one as well. He was impactful in multiple different facets of the game. Literally every single thing, defense, offense, and special teams, he was able to contribute at Alabama of all schools, as big as the stage can get. And finally, Nick, the reuniting with Coach Charles Kelly, who is now, he was an Alabama defensive coordinator. Now he's over at Colorado. This is another thing. I got 2 guys that have a relationship. He knows the potential of Kennedy. He maybe can get the best out of him that anyone could. So once again, this could be possibly the tie that helped bring Kennedy over to Colorado in the first place. But I think those 3 things are pretty big things that Colorado fans can look forward to in this signing.
Well, especially because it's one of those things when you're at a school like Alabama that has so much depth and so much talent, a guy like Kennedy, who probably has a lot of physical tools and could have played anywhere, right? But it just didn't work out because the guy in front of you is going to be a top 10 draft pick, right? Kennedy may have the tools to be a 2nd-round draft pick, but when the guy in front of you is going to go top 10, top 5, top 8, you're just not getting a lot of playing time. It's just how it works at a school like Alabama or a school like Georgia. So he has an opportunity here to go to Colorado, learn it under Deion Sanders, and get the best coaching, most detailed coaching for his athletic schools. And frankly, he probably got at Alabama just because of how deep that roster was. But I want to focus on the fact that yet again, Deion Sanders at Colorado is getting guys from the Southeast. This was my big question mark. This was going to be my big concern for Sanders. Was he going to be able to recruit from the Southeast? Was he going to be able to get transfers from the Southeast now that he was out in the mountains when he was back in Jackson, but as opposed to when he was back in Jackson, Mississippi? And he's proven me wrong. The guy's recruiting even better at Colorado than he was in Jackson State. And I give a lot of credit to Coach Sanders and the entire staff and organization there at Colorado because they blew my expectations out of the water, Mize. And check this out. According to 247sports.com, the Colorado Buffs finished up the 21st ranked recruiting class. That's insane. What Colorado hasn't been a top flight program in a number of years. To be 21 in the class, that is 100% the Deion Sanders effect. So credit to him, credit to his entire staff, and once again, just more momentum continues to build for the program.